Hi, it's David Waters. I'm just sitting with two of my favorite clients. We've just had some great news, and I'm going to let them talk to you about their experience about working with me. So I'm going to leave it up to Rebecca and Dev. Go ahead. Just talk about how we met, how it all came together, and what we were able to accomplish in the time that we were together.
Okay. Well, I guess it was last October. We looked at one of David's listings. We were thinking about selling our house at that time and met with David, really liked him right off the bat. So we've been sort of in the process of fixing our house in order to sell it. So there's a little bit of a time gap before we could list it.
And so when you brought me over, what was happening at the time? Like, where were you with what was going on in your house? Like, what was happening?
Well, brand new house, and we wanted to finish the basement. So sort of a project that we've been working on actually for about a year before we actually completed it. So
there was a lot of drywall, right, in the basement, and so when I came over, I guess you were kind of wondering what to do, right?
If it was even worth it to finish it, and of course you said yes, and it doesn't do you much good with a big piece of drywall in your basement.
Yes.
So yeah, we just got it completed.
And we wouldn't have been able to talk any of our friends into lifting 55 sheets of drywall back up the stairs again. So.
True enough. True enough. Okay, so we talked, when was it, in November last year?
Yeah, October, November, yeah.
Okay, and then so we started looking at, houses and whatnot. And
yeah, we were just trying to get us prepared, things that were going to come eventually, like make sure, you get this done, you get that done, and just kind of doing everything in stages, which is nice, because it can be a little overwhelming.
Especially for Christmas.
Yes.
True enough. Okay, so then what happened over the Christmas holidays? You got your place ready, and
then we found the house that we want to buy.
Yes, yeah, that's the next important step.
Yeah,
so when we were at the house, you were asking kind of what you should do, what
your game plan was for what the best sort of plan of attack.
Okay, and how did that work for you? Like, with the advice that I gave you?
Followed exactly what you said.
It was right on the money.
Okay,
literally.
Yeah.
And so then I came over today.
Yes.
Okay, and so explain what that was like when we were going through getting your place ready.
Well, I think you were pleased with it, which in turn made us feel like we had, done well and obviously followed your instructions. So, and it's always a nice compliment when you finish a job like that to have someone say it looks great. So, of course, we were excited and hesitant about, not hesitant about listing the house, but just about, how everything was going to pan out, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a lot of unknowns when you do this, so
yeah,
it's a little intimidating.
Yeah. Now, when I sat down with you and we had our initial consultation, how did that help when we sat down and we went through?
About the focusing goals and how everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you made us aware of the whole reason why we're selling the house. I think is the biggest thing. I mean, it's not always about money, right? So you just kind of made us think a little more as to the events that led up to us selling the house and why we were doing it.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you guys felt comfortable going through that process with me?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so when we listed your house today, how are you feeling when I left?
Nervous?
Yeah.
Very nervous.
Yeah.
A little panic to get all the finishing touches done in time for the tour, but...
And you said too to be prepared, like, it's not going to sell right away. Like, you just got to wait it out and don't get discouraged easily. So.
For sure.
And so in the background, how did you find, like, now that we've done a few, we've sat down and we've talked about all the different aspects of how I work and what. Tell me how that worked, like with with getting your house ready for sale, and then the things that I kind of do for you on the backside. How did you find that worked for you?
Well, obviously we didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, that's kind of behind the scenes little.
You're rather sneaky.
Yeah,
You've been telling us it was going to take forever to sell, but.
True enough, but I mean that's the thing. You have to be working.
You were just trying to make it realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and so here we are now, and explain to me how what happened.
Well, I don't want to start another laughing fit, but big
Well, we
thing.
sold our house in 6 hours. That's what happened. For
And
full
I
asking
want
price.
a sign that says sold
Yeah.
in 6 hours.
You got it. The sold sign's going up tonight, and
Like full asking price, no conditions, 6 hours after we put the sign up.
And we've had 2 other houses that are very similar in our neighborhood that have been up selling them for like 6 months.
Yeah, and they're not going to be very happy.
but that's okay. So for anyone that's looking at this, what would you suggest? Like, what was your experience working with me? Like, how?
Oh, fantastic.
Very comfortable.
Yes,
I mean, you made it, you know, there's a lot of things that go on buying and selling houses, and you just made it very easy to grasp and understand, which helped a lot.
Absolutely.
Great,
Kind of kept our emotions in check.
Yes, yes.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you two very much.
Thank you. I mean, you're the one you're the professional at this, so this is clearly it paid off.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the honesty and
This is amazing.
great. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.